As we step into 2024, is the housing market reaching a boiling point?
That's the question on everyone's minds. With key players like Cathie Wood and Jerome Powell offering contrasting views, insight is crucial.
We'll be breaking down the most impactful videos on the current state of real estate.
Join us as we unpack experts' predictions about the housing bubble, market crashes, and much more.
Welcome to Financial Insights in Minutes, where we're dedicated to distilling the day's crucial financial news.
In today's video, we will summarize our hand-picked topics and insights. First, the collapse of shadow banking and its effect on the housing market is examined in an insightful analysis. Next, we discuss how corruption may be influencing economic downturns as detailed in Sachs Realty's report. Then a heated debate unfolds over Trump and Harris housing policies and their potential impacts on the market. In our fourth segment, Redfin reveals surprising trends on housing affordability versus home sales. Finally, we look at an alarming H.U.D update on forced home values, examining the implications for homeowners.
Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. We've got a hot topic today: shadow banking and its imminent collapse.
That's right. Armed with insights from Mitch Wexler, we'll uncover why shadow banking is crucial to understand right now.
What's the core message from this discussion?
The crux is that the shadow banking system is fraught with risks, particularly with the current state of commercial real estate in crisis.
Can you clarify the delinquency issue?
Certainly. Delinquent loans in commercial properties have surged to $24.3 billion, more than doubling last year's figure.
What makes shadow banks so concerning?
They act as intermediaries without proper regulation, creating credit out of thin air. It's quite alarming.
We've heard about potential repercussions. What's at stake?
If it crashes, it could ripple through our economy. Notably, small banks could face serious challenges.
What does Mitch predict for the future?
He warns of a possible financial crisis stemming from large shadow banks failing. The implications could be massive.
And what should we expect in terms of regulations?
New regulations might come into play, but there's doubt about their effectiveness to resolve the underlying issues.
So, to wrap things up, what's the essential takeaway?
Recognizing the threat of shadow banking is key to preventing economic turmoil in the future. Stay informed.
We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on shadow banking and its impact?
Comment below. Your voice matters in this crucial discussion.
Welcome back to Sachs Realty, where we dive deep into the currents of economic chaos. Today, we're tackling the burning question: has corruption truly sunk the U.S. economy? Joining us is the insightful Dr. Mark Faber, a noted economist and author who's been analyzing these tumultuous waters.
Absolutely. Dr. Faber's insights stem from years of experience, making him an invaluable navigator through these choppy economic seas. Let's uncover the truth.
So what's the essence of Dr. Faber's warning?
His main thesis is that corruption has fundamentally corrupted U.S. economic policies, creating a detachment between those making decisions and the citizens they affect, especially those living paycheck to paycheck.
Let's break down Dr. Faber's key points, beginning with financial struggles in America.
It's shocking. More than 70% of Americans now live paycheck to paycheck. Meanwhile, housing affordability is at its lowest point in history, a worrying sign of economic distress.
What about the influence of education on policymaking?
Dr. Faber criticizes that many politicians, shaped by academia, have never run a business. They often fail to comprehend the real challenges facing middle-class Americans.
What's the situation regarding government spending?
Dr. Faber points out the alarmingly inefficient government spending under the current administration. This mismanagement leads to increased economic instability and taxpayer dissatisfaction.
Looking ahead, what are some of Dr. Faber's predictions?
He warns of worsening wealth inequality, with the top 1% continuing to dominate economically while the majority struggles. This divide poses serious risks of civil unrest.
To wrap things up, what's the take-home message for viewers?
Dr. Faber urges the need for financial education and greater public engagement with government policies. Understanding these issues is crucial for empowering citizens.
Before we sign off, what can everyday citizens do?
Getting involved in local governance and being informed voters is key. Celebrate democracy and your power.
Now, we want to hear from you. Do you think we can restore balance to our economy?
Comment below with your thoughts. Let's keep this critical conversation going.
Welcome to Kristina Smallhorn's channel. Today, we're diving into the hot topic of housing policies from two major candidates, Trump and Harris. It's election time.
Absolutely. We're here to critically look at their housing plans with our expert panel of real estate professionals hailing from all corners of the country, minus California, of course.
So, what's the essence of today's discussion?
Today, we will explore how the housing policies from both candidates aim to tackle the ongoing affordable housing crisis in America.
Let's break down Trump's housing policy. What's the major takeaway here?
Well, he emphasizes reducing mortgage rates, opening federal lands for new homes, and tax incentives for first-time buyers.
And how about Harris's take on affordable housing?
Harris plans to construct millions of housing units and provide incentives for builders, along with tightening regulations on landlords.
What hurdles do both policies face?
Both plans overlook fundamental issues like rising costs and lengthy regulatory processes that delay housing development.
Looking ahead, how will these policies affect the market?
Expect home prices to soar as demand increases, putting further strain on potential buyers.
What are the final thoughts on today's discussions?
Both plans present ambitious ideas, yet practical implementation remains heavy on the challenges facing our current market landscape.
We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on these housing policies?
Drop your comments below. Let's keep the conversation rolling on what affordable housing means for our future.
Welcome back to Jason Walters' channel. Today's discussion dives into a crucial topic. Housing affordability is looking better, but what about home sales?
That's right, we're exploring Redfin's latest market update, showing affordability improves but not much action in sales.
So what's the core thesis here? Why is this affordability boost not translating to sales?
The key takeaway is the decrease in mortgage rates has made monthly payments more manageable, yet many buyers are still hesitant due to high home prices and market uncertainties.
Let's drill down into the details. First up, monthly payments. What changes are we seeing?
The typical housing payment has dropped about $250 compared to spring highs. That's major relief for potential buyers.
And what about home sales? Are they rebounding with the improved affordability?
Unfortunately not. Pending sales are down 5.1% compared to last year, even with the better payment scenario.
There's got to be other factors at play here, right?
Absolutely. Many potential buyers are wary of high prices and the looming uncertainties surrounding the presidential election.
On to predictions. What can we expect for the market in the coming months?
We might see continued stagnation unless there's a significant change in home prices. The demand right now is really tepid.
And what about interest rates? How could they influence the market?
If rates dip further, we may see an uptick in buyer interest, but for now, it's a waiting game.
To wrap it all up, what's the big picture here?
Affordability improvements are promising, but paired with declining sales, showing that buyers are still hesitant. It's definitely an interesting dynamic.
And now we want to hear from you. What do you think of the current housing market?
Leave your comments below. Do you feel ready to jump in or waiting for changes?
Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today, we're navigating the tumultuous waters of the housing industry with a critical update on how appraisers are being intimidated to meet inflated home values. Get ready for an enlightening discussion with expert Jeremy Baggett.
That's right. Jeremy has written extensively on the problems in the appraisal industry and the fallout from the 2008 financial crisis. His insights will shed light on just how deep these issues run.
So, what's the crux of Jeremy's insights? What's the alarming trend in the appraisal sector?
Essentially, the appraisal system is under intense pressure from regulatory bodies to inflate home values. This not only jeopardizes the integrity of appraisers, but also threatens the entire housing market.
Let's dig into the key points Jeremy made, starting with the pressure on appraisers. What's happening?
Appraisers are increasingly pressured to inflate home valuations. If they resist, they risk being blacklisted or facing legal threats, creating a culture of rubber-stamped values instead of solid appraisals.
And what about the role of regulatory agencies like H.U.D?
H.U.D is under pressure to root out alleged appraiser bias, which has resulted in unrealistic standards that only serve to inflate home values rather than protect consumers.
That brings us to appraisal management companies. What's their impact?
AMCs are designed to be neutral but end up taking big cuts, making appraisers work for peanuts. Plus, their close ties to lenders can create serious conflicts of interest.
Now, what are Jeremy's predictions for the market?
The continued intimidation and inflation of appraisal values could lead to an unstable housing market. If appraisers are sidelined, a future collapse is almost inevitable.
And what about the longer-term repercussions?
Unless there's a major overhaul, these issues will escalate. Taxpayers could once again find themselves fronting the bill when the housing bubble bursts.
So to wrap things up, what can we take away from Jeremy's points?
We're at a critical juncture. The appraisal industry must be reformed to prevent future financial crises and protect consumers. It's time for action.
What can viewers do to contribute?
Engage with local representatives and advocate for reforms in the appraisal system. Your voice matters.
As we close, we want to hear your thoughts on the appraisal process. What do you think?
Drop your comments below. Let's keep this conversation going.
Today, discussions range from shadow banking threats to economic corruption and housing policy debates.
We see that while consent exists on the risks presented, there is stark contrast in the proposed solutions by various experts.
This highlights the volatility of the housing market as we approach 2024 and the critical importance of staying informed. If you'd like more time-saving content, please remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching Financial Insights in Minutes for August 19th, 2024. If you'd like more time-saving content, please remember to like and subscribe. If you have ideas for more channels you'd like to see summarized, drop a comment below. See you next time.